social isolation meant for me. I have secretly enjoyed some aspects of it and made all sorts of resolutions to use the time well. Lots of time, however, just evaporates and less seems to get done than when I was really busy going out and about. So, together with two friends, it was decided that we would all commit to getting on with our short story writing. All of us had been doing this for years and needed the push of others to keep at it. So here is one of my stories. It's a story written last March on one of my last visits to my favourite place on earth before we were locked down. As the cold and wet now keeps memories of summer like little treasures, and as I wait for next summer to come, I dream of the freedom to be allowed to go to my special beach again. My story is called Some Days Are Diamond. There are 123 steps to Point Addis Beach. Who bothers counting would seem to be an obvious question, but obsessive people like me always count. There are 54 of the first set of steps, and they are wide, so you have to do 2 steps, yours that is, for each step. That means 27 with one foot first, and then 27 with the other. It makes getting back up them much easier, as the counting people of this world get into a sort of pattern. The counters of this world also count all steps, even the ones that are ascended and descended 20 times a day in their own house. This particular counter, me, also counts the number of loops around our driveway for getting the heart racing and just about any other journey on foot, and we've done lots of that in the last few weeks. See a group of surfers way out in the waves. They must be counted. Birds flying overhead in a countable size group need counting, as do the individuals in a row on an electric wire. But back to the 123 steps. Parking at Point Addis, possibly the most beautiful swimming beach in Victoria, has become almost impossible during summer weekends and all through the January holidays right through to March. So before the weather collapses at the end of March, this becomes the most treasured time of the year. After years of being obsessed with low tide visits, I discovered this summer that high tide has other delights. On still days, the water is like glass with gleaming swells of fish in the waves. And so, to a still hot day in the middle of March, the joy of being in the sea with the fish was like a balm. There they were in the gleaming waves. My joy was uncontainable, and I found myself calling out in sheer delight. Don't swim alone is a mantra from friends and family alike, especially my late mother. But a bunch of surfers nearby, 7 to be precise, is not alone, is it? Then suddenly I was not alone. A glossy, dark grey head rose out of the water a few feet away and swam beside me until a large gleaming wave was an irresistible body surfing opportunity for my companion. Stay with me, I called out, so back he came, his lovely seal's head above the water, and we swam and played together, between interruptions for fish to be caught, not by me, by him, in the height of the waves. As he moved off towards Southside Beach down the far end of Point Addis, I tried to keep up with him, but he finally moved away too far to follow. People on the beach were watching him, but I was his swimming companion, the only one. I stayed in the water for another half hour, so full of happiness and sense of privilege that I could feel healing taking place. Taking the 123 steps back to the top was like walking on air. I had to count, of course, but I did the whole thing without stopping once. It was something about wings on my heels.